Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Thought I'd do a quick video to show you guys how we're progressing over here and getting ready for winter. As you can see, you guys have seen this tent in one of my previous videos. We just got this not too long ago and finally put it up. But I have something to show you inside of it that's pretty cool. But first, let me show you how all the leaves here, as you can see, it's not even the middle of September. And we are already full blown into fall. So everything is turning brown and yellow and starting to get ready for winter. So as you can see over here, excuse the mess, we're still moving things around. There's the pad that my dirt mover guy made me. And that's where the tent is. And this morning, we spent this morning moving everything that was under that tent and putting it in that tent. Now let me tell you what I'm going to do with this tent, ladies and gentlemen. I got a great idea for this. And what I'm going to do is since the canvas on this tent right here, it's got rips and slits in several places. Next year I'm going to take this canvas off. Well, I'm going to take the canvas off before winter. Because if not, it's not going to be able to hold the snow load. And there's no reason for me to be going out there and cleaning the snow off of it all winter long when there's nothing in it. So I'm going to take the canvas off of it and I'm going to use the frame to build a greenhouse. Now they sell this fabric. It's like a nylon, a clear nylon. It's like a really super thick plastic, but it's nylon that's got threads embedded in it that you can put over a structure to make a greenhouse out of it. And that's what I'm going to do with it. And since I can move it, because it's in the form of a tent, I won't get taxed on it. So let me tell you what I plan on doing here next year. As you can see, the budget for this year only allowed for us to come up to here. So now what we're going to do next year is, if you can see where the back of the fill is, right behind that tent, probably about 3 or 4 feet behind that tent, is where he finished filling in. We're going to go ahead and bring it all the way from here, all the way to the back. So we're going to go all the way across, past those trees right there. Those trees are going to be coming down next year, because they're in pretty rough shape as it is. We're going to be bringing it all the way down so that it can meet up with the back of where that tent is as far as the fill. Then we're going to go ahead and take this tent, move it off of here, and put it somewhere in this area. And let me show you why it is that we're going to take this tent and move it from this area right here. We're in the inside of the tent right now, and you can see that we've got a platform in here. So this is a 10 by 12 platform. So next year when the snow melts, we're going to move this tent off of here, put it in its new home. I'm going to build a platform just for the tent as well over there, but it's going to be treated wood. That way there's no rotting or anything. And on this 10 by 12 platform, I'm going to build what's going to be, drum roll please, the AP studio. I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to build a small structure out here that's going to be solely for me to come out here and do my videos and do my live streams and things like that. And I guess you can call it somewhat of a man cave. But that's what it's going to be. So I'm really excited. I could only afford to do the floor this year because, believe it or not, a lot of people don't comprehend how much work it goes into just building the floor of a structure and the foundation. I mean, under this wood, there's a whole bunch of beams, there's a whole bunch of joists, there's a ton of brackets that I put in there, there's wrapping, there's insulation, all right? And as you can see, I put tape on the seams to make sure that we don't get any bugs in there during the winter. Now what I'm going to do with this floor before winter hits is I'm going to stain it with a water repellent stain, and I'm going to seal the seams with some sealant to make sure that no moisture gets in there. After I do all of that, I'm going to cover it with a tarp as well. That's just to protect the wood because this is just plywood and it's not treated. So like I said, I'm pretty excited about being able to build a little AP studio next year. And it's going to be a lot of fun because little Miss Alaska Prepper is going to help me do it so that she can learn how to build, so that she can build her own tiny home that she's going to be working on next year as well. So this is what it's looking like. That's my snowblower right there. I have to grab it and bring it up here and put it in its place for the winter. And let me show you where the snowblower and my generator is going to live this winter. So you've all seen this little tent before, and I used to have it insulated with R13 insulation in order to be able to keep some heat in here during the winter if I ever needed to start my generator or my snowblower in really harsh conditions. What I'm going to do this year instead is I'm going to go ahead and insulate it with some of this foam. I'm going to insulate the ceiling with that blue foam because that blue foam is a lot more dense than the white foam or that foam insulation. And I'm going to insulate the walls with the white foam. And what that will allow me to do is it won't keep it warm in there during the winter because there's not going to be a heater running in here all winter long. But what it'll do is if I need to come out here, for example, to turn on my generator for the house because we lost power and it's like -30 or something like that, it'll allow me to put a small heater in here, a propane heater in here for about 15 or 20 minutes, allowing it to hold a little bit of temperature, just enough to bring the temperature in there to about 20 degrees above zero, which will make it a lot easier for the generator to start, and it will help it last longer because it won't, damage the engine. A lot of times trying to start an engine cold at -30, -35 is really bad for the engine. So that's what I'm doing with this little shed right here. And as you can see right here, that's my power line, that orange line you see, that's the power line that connects to my house, to my breaker inside, and that's what I connect to my generator. So I'll take this line and I'll put it under the tent, right down there. And then inside I'll put the generator with the muffler pointing towards the exit. That way when it's exhausting, I can just leave this door open and let it air out. And that's how I've done it in the past, and it's worked really well, except I decided to upgrade the insulation on this. And of course, this is my fuel tent. This is where I have all my fuel, and this is actually the platform that Little Miss Alaska Prepper is going to use next year to build her tiny home. And what I'm going to do is when I move the big tent, when I move that big tent over, when I start building my little studio, I'll be able to dedicate an area just for my fuel in that big tent because that tent has a ton of room. Now, a lot of people asked me in the past what kind of tents these are, and these are called Shelter Logics, right? They actually have them on Amazon for pretty good prices, to tell you the truth. The only problem with me getting them up here from Amazon is Amazon won't ship them up here because they are too heavy. But we do get lucky that our local Home Depot or Lowe's usually carries these. So I was able to get one of these big ones this year, which is what I really wanted. Now, a lot of people have asked me in the past, how much snow does that hold? I can tell you that this small one right here, the most snow I've ever allowed to build up on this small one was about 1.5 feet. And it had no problem. Yes, it did sink in a little bit, but it still didn't damage it or anything like that. I was able to take the snow out, no problem. Same thing with that one, with that medium-sized Shelter Logic. About 1.5 feet of snow. This one right here has a nicer pitch, so I think that it's going to be a lot easier removing the snow from it. I bet you that a lot of the snow will just fall off on its own, but it'll be a lot easier removing the snow from that tent. These tents, ladies and gentlemen, these big green tents, these Shelter Logics, they're like a dime a dozen here in Alaska. Almost anyone that lives outside the city usually has 1 or 2 variations of the tents. So, like I said, you can pick these up on Amazon. If you guys want to find them really easy, I'll go ahead and list it in my storefront because these tents are awesome. What I like about them the most is that you don't pay taxes on them. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I just thought I'd give you a little tour of my progress towards winter here because winter is coming. It is a beautiful day today, and it's supposed to be a beautiful day tomorrow as well. So I hope to see you guys at tomorrow's live stream. It's going to be at 12 p.m. Alaska time, Sunday. So hope to see you there. It's going to be more of a hangout session with me just answering questions for all of you newbies out there that haven't been prepping long. Get your questions ready, and we'll have a little fun talking back and forth. All right, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a great day today. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out.